Do you feel like you're always so close, like one tile away from the win? That's today's Daily Talk of the Tiles for July 20th, 2025. If you're watching this on Instagram, make sure to check out our YouTube channel. You could subscribe so you're notified when new videos are posted. And visit us on modernmahjong.com and subscribe so you get our newsletter. Are you frustrated always being one tile away? We've all been there. Your passes in the Charleston are stellar. You collect tiles towards a section, you're passing tiles you don't need. Then, when the game starts, you're picking in tiles you need, you're discarding ones that don't fit in. This is your game to win. But sometimes it's simply the luck of the tiles. Some games, that tile you need for the win isn't discarded when you can call it, or throughout the game, you never pick that tile, or you even could just use a joker for the win and you don't pick it. Other times, are you planning ahead for luck? On some years' cards, patience can be a virtue. Some hands, if you call too early or have too many exposures, it could be obvious what you need. And if a player takes that risk to do a discard that you might need, are you even set and ready to call that 14th tile for the win? On the other hand, by being overexposed, other players might break up their hand to prevent discarding your winning tile, and that gives you time to pick your winning tile. So, like we said, this is strategy. These are not rules, these are just some strategies we're discussing. It's a balancing act. Do you commit and call early for an exposure? If a tile's discarded that you can call and make an exposure, do you wait or commit? And what are your factors? Sometimes we think if it's going to make you set by calling the tile, it's going to make you ready to win. That's a great time to call. If you can use the natural tiles you have and move a joker somewhere else, that's a great time to call. How much information are you giving up about your hand? These are all factors. Let's say you decide to call and make an exposure, eventually a second, and now you're locked into a hand. But throughout that game, as luck would or would not have it, you need a specific tile now, and you're using it for a single, a group of singles, or a pair, and you can't use a joker. You pick a joker and you discard it by saying same or the tile that was last discarded to not call attention. Now you can keep the joker and discard a tile that's a natural tile that you're using for a pung or a kong to throw other players off. However, there is always that chance that that could be their winning tile. Some takeaways to consider during the Charleston. And once again, remember, these are tips and strategies, not rules. Some might work better on this year's card in certain hands. Some might work better on other hands, other year's cards. During the Charleston, use those passes wisely. Aim towards a section and think of hands and backup hands in those sections and others that work. Pass tiles that don't work for any of the options. So you're doing an even section hand. You have your twos, fours, sixes, and eights. You're not exactly sure which suits, but you have a seven and you have a south. Those are tiles that don't work with any of your options. Other takeaways to consider just during the game. Pay attention, and this is a skill that builds as you play. Pay attention to exposures as well as discards and see if you could figure out what other players have or need and if they have the tile you need. Keep count of what needed tile you have of all those visible tiles. So the visible tiles are the ones that are in exposures and discards and possibly in your hand. So that's only visible to you. If you need a single or a pair and you don't have it, and there's already two or three, if there's two out, it's getting risky. If there's three out and you need a pair, you can't win this hand. So it's time to switch to a backup if you kept those options open. Is patience a virtue for the hand you're playing? There are several hands in the card that if you expose the exposable parts, the pungs, the kongs, the quints, the remaining groupings in the cards are only singles and pairs. For example, any like numbers 2 or Winds and Dragons 2. If you take the time, you could pause this video, or you can get the card later. Look at those. If you expose what can be exposed, everything else is a single or a pair. So sometimes it works to stay flexible as long as possible. And this way you can keep several options open for your hands. And that's even sometimes with an exposure. It is a balance though, because while if you commit to a hand too early, it might be obvious what you need. On the other hand, it could put players on the defense, but there are some year's cards that if you don't call a discard, you might never see that discard again. It just other players will win that quickly. Throughout the game, keep evaluating. Just because you're one tile away doesn't mean that tile's available. So continue evaluating if your hand is still winnable or not. Think of a backup hand. And if you don't win this game, a new one is about to start. That's the beauty of the game. You'll put those tiles face down, shuffle them with your hands, build those walls, roll the dice, and start again. The hand of the day today is 369, a fixed section. We're moving to hand number 2. Now, on the card, there is a plus and an equal sign, but here we remove those symbols. This is simply a straightforward 369 hand. You have a pair of flowers and then either kongs of 369 all in blue, all in one suit, or a pair of flowers, a kong in green of 3s, a kong in red of 6s, a kong in 9 in blue. Straightforward, 369, several great backup options. If you are collecting these tiles, there are 11 overlapping with the 6th hand in this section and 10 with the 1st and the 4th. So these are great things to know. We shared in yesterday's Daily Talk of the Tiles and in our link tree, if you're watching this on Instagram, a printable where you could print out and write every single hand and every variation it comes in. If you're interested in our PDF that we have on our website, there we go over, we did the homework for you. All the groupings, all the backup hands, all the overlapping tiles. So that is available on modernmahjong.com. You missed lesson 1, but don't worry, opportunity is knocking twice. If you sign up now, you could watch the replay of lesson 1 and then join us live for lessons 2, 3, and 4. Visit modernmahjong.com. It's right on our home screen. You'll get the link. If you register, the registration information will come from Kveller, Kveller. If you play Canasta, and we hope you will join us on July 28th, we are having a free Zoom where Donna Miller-Small and I are going to play real Canasta and discuss our decision making. We had a really exciting one last week, and we hope you'll join us. We are also being joined by the author of In a Family Way, and we're kicking off a book giveaway. So join us on July 28th. You could register at bit.ly/Canasta author and game. The C for Canasta, the A for author, and the G for game are capital. Too much to remember? Just send us an email at modernamericancanasta@gmail.com and we'll send you the link. You're invited to join us at Pinstripes. We have 2 events on the calendar already, September 10th and September 17th. The first one's in Orlando. The second one's in Aventura, Florida. We hope you'll join us. Visit modernmahjong.com to register. With all this incredible information, how come you're not following us yet? We do all of this so people could understand how to play by the rules and then play wherever they go. There is so much misinformation out there. Today, someone sent us a video that had completely incorrect information about the Charleston. So we continue to make these posts and videos and our book, Visual Companion Guide for American Mahjong, available on Amazon for you to know the official rules and then decide if you want to incorporate house rules. We hope that you like, comment, save, and most importantly, share so we could all play with confidence. With that, have a great day and a great game.